time to drop.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Hennisphere for another day of roller coasters. I am at King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. If you remember, more than 12 months ago, I was here in this exact spot almost, filming a video because I couldn't go inside. It was closed. I have been dreaming about going to this park for a long time. I remember having books about roller coasters when I was a lot younger, like maybe 10 years old, and Volcano, the blast coaster, was always front and center in that book. That was the one coaster that always stood out to me. I've seen YouTube videos of it, and that's really the only way I can look at that coaster anymore because it's gone. They removed it not too long ago. But there are other rides here that I will get to experience that I've looked at for a long time, including Anaconda, and then you've got I-305, which perhaps might be my favorite gig. Then you've got Dominator. I cannot wait for that. And then I'll let you know how the food is, how customer service is with the season pass, because I've got to get my photo taken. So let's go in and experience King's Dominion. All right, so I have a couple of things to say about guest services already. I am now in the park, and I got through the gate super fast because of guest services. I walked up to the customer service window and someone stopped me immediately and said, "Sir, do you have a season pass?" So I said, "Yes, but I have to get my picture taken," and all that good stuff. And they said, "Oh, just go through the turnstiles and they'll take your picture right when they scan your phone." They even directed me to a shorter line. "Sir, the wait is less over here. You can go in this line. It'll be faster." I said, "Oh, cool." They even told everyone what rides were closed for the day. So unfortunately, one of the credits is closed that I was going to ride, Avalanche. And then the Eiffel Tower is also closed, which is a bummer because I was going to do that too. Staff, so far, superb. And I like that they're transparent about some of the information about the rides. So far, being in this park for a whole 60 seconds, I love all of the vegetation here. I love all of the trees, the flowers, plants, the water features. Everything here looks very nice. It's extremely clean. Before I get to the coasters, there's just a little bit of housekeeping things that I need to take care of. I had to get my unlimited refill souvenir cup. That was pretty easy. You just go up to any location you want. You don't have to go back to the front of the park and grab it. And now I'm going to look for lockers, and I'm also going to download the King's Dominion app because I believe that will help me locate certain things. After we do that, then it's time to start riding rides. I believe I'm going to start with Grizzly first. Here we go. Grizzly up first. Wow, okay. I got some stuff to unpack about Grizzly. Rode it in the front first. There's no line, so I decided to ride it in the back right after that. And I do that on purpose because I know that this ride has a very bad reputation among coaster enthusiasts. Some people just dislike it, but other people say it's a bad ride. After riding it in the front row, I thought that the laterals were excellent on the turns, although that first turnaround after the first drop absolutely kills the momentum. And there was a lot of floater airtime. I thought it was okay. Then I rode it in the back, and it was so rough that I decided not to keep my hands up for the whole time. I always keep my hands up the entire time on all rides, but I could not do it on this one. That's how rough it was. That coaster is definitely a thumbs down from me. Not decent. Next it's time for Apple's Apple, which is a wild mouse, but it's got some good drops on it. We'll see. Just got off Apple's Apple. Nothing crazy to report on that. The turns were super forceful. I do like that first drop though. It was nice. Not very steep, so there's no air time. I'll probably rank it, but nothing special about it. Another RMC is in the coaster count. That was one of the better RMCs I've done, I will say. I have to compare RMCs to Iron Rattler just because that is the one that I've ridden the most. And this one was just as fun, in my opinion. When I rank it, I think Iron Rattler will probably be just ahead of it, but this had more elements. The first drop was amazing. The 3 back-to-back-to-back airtime hills, insane. Now I'm going to try and ride Racer 75. After riding Racer 75, the sun has started to come out. It looks like I'm just going to be missing the kiddie coaster, the right side of Racer 75, and Avalanche. Racer 75 was a lot better than Grizzly in my opinion. It was super smooth except for like the back half. There was some rattling. Oh my goodness, guys. That did not disappoint. I think that was the second tallest drop tower I've ever been on. I'll have to check the stats on Falcon's Fury, but I was shaken by the time I got to the bottom. That felt like it was faster than Falcon's Fury because you're weightless for seems like 7 seconds. You're just falling and you're picking up speed, picking up more speed, and it doesn't feel like other drop towers. Ooh, that was good. I might have to do that again if the line isn't very long. Now I'm gonna go get my stuff from the locker next to Twisted Timbers. Probably get something to eat because I know for me personally, before a very intense roller coaster, it's good if I eat something. If I don't, then I might get a headache. Before I ride I-305, I'm gonna make sure I eat something. And before that though, I'm gonna try to do Anaconda. So I was able to get food, no problem. Actually had some really nice fish and chips. They got a good selection of food here. And they've got the normal commercial chain restaurants, just like Hershey Park yesterday, Chick-fil-A, Subway, places like that. The other thing I was looking for just now were lockers, and it looks like they really don't have a lot of spots around here. They have that spot for Twisted Timbers outside the queue and inside the queue, but then on the map, all I'm seeing for lockers besides that is the very front of the park and then the entrance to Soak City. So I wish they had more locations because I'm not sure I'll really transfer my stuff to another locker. 2 more credits crossed off the bucket list. That was Backlot, Stunt Coaster, and Anaconda. So for Backlot, I've already been on one of those at Kings Island. Not too much crazy going on, really. It's a clone. It's kind of a family coaster, I would categorize it as. And here, none of the effects were working. It didn't have the same feel as the one at Kings Island. Like the helicopter there was working, the fire was working. Here, none of that was going on. Just very plain Jane. The ride time duration was like less than a minute, but I still like it. The tunnel is really cool. And then Anaconda, classic aero looper, or as I used to know them as, corkscrew coasters from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Now, it's time for Intimidator 305. All right, I had 305, wow. Yeah, I could see why people say that ride is too intense and why people say they black out and whatnot. Yeah, that first turn, unbelievable. And the ride overall, so many positive G-forces, but also lots of negative G-forces as well. That hill that crosses right under the cable lift hill, sustained ejector airtime. Loved it. I got 2 rides on it. Is it a top 5 credit? Yes. Is it number 1? I don't know. I can think of 1 or 2 credits that I have ahead of it. Not going to say which ones, but wow, for me, that is a top 5 credit. The speed was unbelievable. First drop in the back, phenomenal. The twist where it banks one way and then it flips the other way, very reminiscent of Maverick. I know that Maverick does that, but this felt like it was done better. I did not bang my head at all. It was not painful. That was fun. That was a great ride. One thing I wish they took note of when you walked in the front entrance was you are not allowed to have any items in the station unless they're staying with someone who's not on the ride. So I got up there with my souvenir cup and I didn't see any bins, so I just set it next to the trash can. And the person working in the controls told someone else to go grab it. So I said, hey, that's mine. And they said, well, you can't leave it here. And then the person sitting next to me actually said, hey, my wife can hold it for you. She's not riding right now. And so I got saved, or else I was gonna have to throw that thing away because I was already strapped in the ride, ready to go. Dominator was everything I expected. Wow. I know just after riding it once, back row, furthest left seat, it's better than any other floorless I've been on. I know I've been on 3, probably 4. I want to say that Krypton Coaster was my number 1 floorless before I rode this today. Very close with Kraken. This wins me over because of the 2 turns after that first loop. The loop on Superman is better. First drop, kind of even. This one is a lot more whippy. First one is a right-hand turn, low to the ground, overbanked. The second one goes up over the station. It's like a quick U-turn, kind of like riding a berm on a motocross bike. The pacing on this is so much better. than the other floorless coasters I've been on. Now it's time for the last credit of the day. That is Flight of Fear. And I do want to take back one thing I said about the locker situation. When I was checking on the app, it does not give me many places to store my items. So I ended up walking onto I-305 with my souvenir bottle, and I could not take that on the ride. But after I got off the ride, I saw the lockers that are in the gift shop. So I put all my stuff there until the end of the day. Crisis averted. They just barely have enough locker locations here. I think they could use 1 or 2 more. So it's closing time right now at the park. Last I vlogged was probably 3 hours ago. I ended up catching up with someone who my wife works with, actually. It's a small world. Met up with a coaster enthusiast who had a lot of his friends here. So we did Flight of Fear, brings my coaster credit count to 189. And then we did Anaconda, followed by I-305 2 more times until the park closed. So great day, lots of rides in. Rode I-305 the most. Flight of Fear, honestly did not notice any difference between it and the one at Kings Island. Overall for the park, it was pretty clean. There were lots of good food offerings. The perks that I got from my Platinum Pass were definitely worth it. Until next time, that was another day in the Hennisphere.